Hello and welcome to another Raggy's beer review. So today we're going over to the Home Bargains for a brand that they bought. So the brewery, whatever brewery it was, Higsons, as far as I know, has gone out of business. I might get some of the story wrong, but in essence, owned by Home Bargains now, or TJ Morris as the trade, as the owners of Home Bargains. 62 to 64 Bridgewater Street, Baltic Triangle, Liverpool, Higsons in Belfast, BT2. The interesting thing with that, and so if you think about it, it's actually a smart move. If you've got brewers who are brewing the beer, and it's for Home Bargains, and as long as the brew it decent, and then it comes in, the people at the brewery have got their jobs. They're brewing the beer. And, I see an upside to it, as long as the beer's good. So, this Higsons bitter is brewed with the finest English malts and choicest fuggles, giving a distinctive and assertive hop character, balanced with a fruity palate and a malty finish to this medium-bodied ale. 3.8%. Oh, I'm knackered. The heat is just... whew. Absolutely walloped me today, and I've tried to keep out the sun for the most part, but it's not always easy. So here we go, 3.8%. So you'd class that as a golden looking pour, golden to amber even. Don't get me started on colours. Plenty of carbonation going on that white head. It looks a good, crystal clear, it looks a good beer. It's got a malty nose. Yeah, that's all I'm getting on the nose. A hint of chestnut, if anything. Yeah, it's not a bad maltiness to it as well. It's yeah, it's not bad so far. I think the best thing with any beer that you drink, any beer that you review, is to have an open mind before you start. I've done it before. I've gone into a beer review and already I'm on a downer with possibly the brewery because they probably peed me off for some reason. And obviously that can affect the beer review, and obviously everyone, or sometimes it's the day before you've had a beer. Obviously all these things come into play whenever we have a drink, I suppose. Oh, I needed that. A little hint of sweetness on there as well. As what you would class as a cheap supermarket beer, which it generally is, about £1.40, £1.50, something along them lines. To the connoisseur beer drinker, you're probably going to turn around and say, yeah, it's bland, it's this and that. But somebody coming into the world of beer wants a cheap enough beer, doesn't want the frills, doesn't want... See, a lot of people don't want the flavours that you see in beers these days. They just want something straight up. And you can understand that. Bloody hell, that was a big squirrel. Jesus Christ. Sounds like a dog on the roof. Never mind a squirrel. Hey, get off my roof. Bloody hell. Sound like a small kid. So today's July the, whatever it is, 30th, is it? 2024. Yeah, it's been a warm day. Done a ton of work. I've tried to avoid being in the sun at the hottest part of the day because it just drains you. Literally drains you. And I've been flitting between shade and sun. Try my best to keep out of the sun, you know, as best as you can. And then still did an hour and a half in the garden next door. So started at 6:30, finished it. What time would it be? 5 o'clock? No, get there than 5, 10 past 5. So no, 6:15 I started. Yeah. So yeah, around about 11-hour day in total with both workplace and the garden. So yeah. The thing is, you get used to the hot weather, but it is too hot. Too blooming hot. You can't get that sweet zone where it's about 20 degrees and it's sunny, because it can be 20 degrees, but it can be windy and blooming freezing as well. So you know, I'm just hoping it's nice on Saturday, where we've got a tap room thing this Saturday. And yeah, I'm hoping the weather's good, not only for us, but for the brewery itself. They're a good brewery with good people. Magpie Brewery in Nottingham. Really changed it around from being a modern traditional brewery to more like a mod trad and craft beer brewery. So they do both, and they do both well. I mean, we've lost locally 2 breweries pretty recently. Totally Brewed, full-on craft beer brewery, and Trent Navigation. Although Trent Navigation didn't need to be lost. The owners were greedy. They see money signs and they see, oh, we'll buy the beer in. Why make it when we can buy it? And you can understand in some ways. I can understand, let somebody else have the pressure of making it. But yeah, they'd ran it down for a long time, and it's sad to see, really sad. But it is what it is, I suppose. You can't win them all. As far as I know, 2 of the 3 brewers are still brewing. I'm not sure what's happened to the head brewer, managing brewer, what he's doing. I know we'd gone to one local brewery at one stage, but I don't think he agreed with their ethos. So this is the problem. When you've been in charge of a brewery and you go to another brewery, it's difficult. It's unless you can get out of that mindset. And in some ways, it's like being a manager then coming back onto the tools. Somebody who's always been a good grafter will slip back in pretty easy. But the ones that were never a good grafter in the first place, although they made out there was, they struggle. I see that at work. In some ways. So warm again. It's warm in the beer room, to be honest. It's not best for the beer on the beer wall behind me, but there's nothing I can do. I can't take the beer down. I ain't got the time anyway. It's as simple as that. you know. But no exploding cans, so there's a blessing. And we never have it hot for too long anyway. Literally another day, maybe 2 days more. I'm hoping that the thunderstorms come a bit quicker, drop the temperature down to a more, normal temperature. 22, 23, all's good. 28, no, don't want 28. I struggle to work in them hot temperatures. Yeah, I've got 2 more days at work now. Ooh. It's a fair bitter, yeah. I wouldn't say it's smashing anything out the park, but it's quaffable. At the price it's at, it's drinkable for somebody who just wants a beer. It hits that spot. I don't know if it's still being made. Obviously, I assume that it would be, because if Home Bargains now own the brewery, then I would assume this would be commonplace and a permanent fixture. And again, like I said about it being a smart move, I think it's a smart move. I do. It's a nice enough beer. Would I drink it again? No. Once is definitely enough for me. I've done it. It was okay. Out of 5, I give it about a 3.8. I would say that, yeah, it's one of them you're going to drink once. But if you're after a beer that just does what it says,